from one iconic player to another, Tiger Woods to LeBron James. Let's talk LeBron. It's time. I'm giving you guys my 5 teams that could sign LeBron James this summer. So the rundown here is, could perhaps LeBron tell the Cavs his decision to stay or leave today? He has until the end of June to opt into his contract with the Cleveland Cavs. If he decides to opt out, then the Cavs probably will look ahead to the rebuilding project that is. So with that, let's get into my top 5 teams. Checking in at number 5, we've got the Boston Celtics, and they have plus 1,000 odds. Those are the latest Vegas odds. And Chris Haynes, who is a good insider, said, quote, "Let's not overlook the Boston Celtics." Stephen A. Smith said the Celtics may look into LeBron and that LeBron will have a conversation with Celtics leadership this summer. Now, let's just first of all talk about this from a standpoint of personnel. This would be pretty stunning. Going from a rival in the Boston Celtics, where LeBron James has battled this team so many times over the years, including this past postseason, to actually playing for that rival. Plus, there's the whole Kyrie Irving thing, who chose to leave the franchise that drafted him rather than be LeBron James' teammate. And I'm not so sure that LeBron James and Kyrie Irving are on exactly good terms at this juncture. So LeBron James has a Celtics jersey on right now, and he's like, what the heck is going on? Because I think it's a bit of a long shot, and once we jump into the top 4, I think those are the 4 realistic ones, but I think 5 is a better number, so I did toss in the Boston Celtics here. And the argument can be made from a financial perspective. So the Celtics would need to let Marcus Smart walk in free agency, trade Marcus Morris for some draft picks, and trade either Horford or Hayward. But I keep going back to this Kyrie Irving thing because I think it's really worth monitoring here if you are actually thinking that the Boston Celtics are going to sign this guy. Brian Silva in the comment section here on the Cam Rogers Show presented by FanDuel says, Kyrie's in Boston, try again. Hey, I'm with you. I get it. But you tell me a better team to put in here at number 5. All right, so as we go throughout these rankings, they'll get more and more likely. Kyrie Irving in town. Hey, maybe LeBron and Kyrie are texting right now. They're getting along. All is good. But you have to go off the premise that they're probably not the best of friends right now. But I have the Celtics here because from a financial perspective, it does make some sense. And, you know, relationships can repair, folks. You know what I mean? Have you ever gotten in a fight with your friend and you don't talk to each other for 2 weeks and eventually you get back together, you're friends again, or you break up with your girlfriend or boyfriend and there's this lull period for a month and you get back together? It happens. We're human. We fight. We get mad at each other. Maybe this is the case with LeBron and Kyrie and they can make up a little bit. All right? That's just one of my theories out there. All right, let's go to number 4 here on the list. I think this would be a really interesting team. So we've got the Houston Rockets. So GM Daryl Morey, mentioned him earlier in the show. He's known for his aggressiveness in improving a roster, and landing LeBron James, I think, would be an all-timer kind of move. So in this scenario, you'd have the best player in the NBA right now in LeBron James, and one of the purest scorers in the league in James Harden. Now, if LeBron comes to Houston, it'll be because of Chris Paul, part of the banana boat squad, if you will, and you'd have this nucleus of Paul, Harden, and LeBron James. That nucleus is warrior-proof. They can take down the Golden State Warriors with that trio. Now, that scenario of Harden, Paul, and James would be difficult but not impossible. So first, what has to happen if CP3 isn't there, which I think, by the way, is pretty unlikely. I don't see why LeBron would want to go to Houston if CP3 decides to not remain with the Rockets there. But the Rockets would have to renounce the rights for Trevor Ariza, Eric Gordon, Tariq Black, among others, and trade away a player. So that would free up $35.8 million in cap space, enough to sign LeBron James to a maximum deal. And by the way, there's no way they're re-signing Clint Capella in this scenario either. So that is what has to happen for LeBron James to join the Rockets. if CP3 is not there, which again, I just don't see happening. So here is the scenario for Chris Paul, LeBron, James Harden. Rockets have to renounce the rights of all of their impending free agents. Trade Eric Gordon, trade Ryan Anderson, and trade PJ Tucker for next to nothing in terms of salary. All right, so you got to think draft picks. So there's also the trade scenario, right? LeBron James opts in with the Cleveland Cavs and facilitates a trade with the Cavs and the Houston Rockets. LeBron goes to Houston, joins Chris Paul, James Harden. All is great and merry. Now, perhaps LeBron could channel his inner Chris Paul, if you will, and try to do that because Chris Paul did that with the Clippers, of course, going on over to the Houston Rockets. And from a financial perspective, probably makes more sense for the Rockets to do that, right? And hope that LeBron opts in and facilitates a trade. It just makes it easier on the salary cap. But if LeBron just straight up goes to free agency, the Houston Rockets have to do a few things to bring him in. And I just mentioned them. Renounce the rights of all the impending free agents, trade Eric Gordon, trade Ryan Anderson, and trade PJ Tucker for next to nothing in terms of salary. That's a lot of factors. But still, this is LeBron James. And this is GM Daryl Morey, who you cannot underestimate there. So keep that in mind. We got the Houston Rockets checking in at number 4. And the LeBron James sweepstakes are exciting already. And the World Cup is also shaping up to be exciting. Make it even more exciting by playing on FanDuel. FanDuel.com/chatsports. Put your username in the comments section, and we will feature you on the Cam Rogers Show right here on air. So go ahead, FanDuel.com/chatsports. Make a username, submit it in the comments section, and I'll be giving you guys a shout out, so be sure to do that. And we thank FanDuel for sponsoring the show. All right, let's get to number 3 here on the list. This would be fun. The San Antonio Spurs, Vegas odds of +1,000. So Greg Popovich may reportedly meet with LeBron this summer to sell him on the merits of South Texas. You got to love it. Sales pitches. So overall, this hasn't really been a highly talked about team in terms of LeBron. Not a lot of media buzz out there, but this is me, the media, creating the buzz because I think it's more likely than what the Vegas odds are trying to lead you guys on. LeBron has talked about his love of Popovich publicly before. And just imagine that player-coach pairing. Probably one of the best in NBA history. Probably the best in the NBA next year if it were to go down. So I'm just thinking about the basketball IQ, by the way, between those two, Greg Popovich and LeBron James. And I think that's something that LeBron has been longing for that we don't usually talk about. Basketball IQ. Look at that Cavs team from a year ago. Was that an intelligent team in terms of reacting and observing what is happening on the hardwood and essentially adjusting, calling an audible on the fly? LeBron James was the guy that called those audibles, but he couldn't call them for everybody. J.R. Smith. So, I mean, if LeBron goes to the Spurs, you have an intelligent basketball team, you have an intelligent coach, and oh, by the way, Kawhi Leonard is there as well, and there are reports out there that Kawhi could be meeting with Greg Popovich pretty darn soon. And I bet you LeBron James is going to be a part of that discussion. I'm telling you right now. So, real quick, for financials here, the Spurs are projected to carry over $98 million in salaries into next season. So, here's what has to go down. You following? They'd have to renounce Tony Parker's rights to clear $23.2 million off the books. That's step 1. They'd also have to not extend the qualifying offer for Kyle Anderson. Then basically hope both Danny Green and Rudy Gay opt out of their final year of their deals, which is something that both of them are considering. Then at that point, the Spurs have $81.5 million on the books for next season, still needing to clear another $15 million to have room for James. So to get there, They could trade Pau Gasol and the $22.7 million in guaranteed money over the next 2 years and make sure they get zero salary in return. It's a lot, but I think it's more possible than you guys think. Now, LeBron James apparently hates Houston. Why not go to San Antonio? They're at number 3 on my list. Let's go to number 2, and we've got the Philadelphia 76ers. So this has been a team that seems like everybody is talking about. Obviously, a squad on the rise, jumping from 28 to 52 wins from the cellar of the East to the conference's number 3 seed. Set to be the team, by the way, with the second most cap space this summer. So a max contract shouldn't be an issue here in regards to LeBron. Now, the 76ers would have to renounce all of its impending free agents, including J.J. Redick, and they'd have to trade Jared Bayless and the $8.6 million they owe him. And the 76ers have the draft capital, by the way, to kind of sweeten that Bayless deal if they so choose. Or the team could trade Robert Covington in exchange for zero salary. He's coming off a really fantastic year, so supply and demand could be high for Covington. Regardless, it'd be LeBron James, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Saric as its core. Ben Simmons is the guy that's going to be on the ball, right? And you hear the rumors out there that LeBron James is okay with playing off the ball, which feeds into the Philadelphia 76ers narrative. So if LeBron goes to the 76ers, that team's going to be yearly contenders. And oh, by the way, he can avoid the Western Conference at least until the NBA Finals, if you want to talk about from a postseason perspective. Now, it's also worth noting that LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, also represents Ben Simmons. So you better believe there's some sort of group chat going on or something like that. So Robert chiming in on the Cam Rogers Show presented by FanDuel. LeBron James, Chris Paul, and Anthony Davis to L.A. You know what, Robert? We love segues here in this program, so we thank you for chiming in. Let's go to L.A., number 1 on my list, and I think it's going to happen. LeBron James is going to the Los Angeles Lakers. It's just going to happen. So I don't want you guys to go off on your day later today and hear anybody say anything else. Don't believe him. He's going to the Lakers. Vegas odds, by the way, -110. So the Lakers have the room to sign James to a 3-year, $111.4 million max contract, one with a player option for year 3. And you've got Paul George, who's been tied to the team as well. So let's talk about from the scenario that the Lakers can have George and LeBron. You waive Tyler Ennis, Zubac, Thomas Bryant. Renounce the rights to Julius Randle, promising big man, but still, we're talking LeBron here. At that point, L.A. would have $66.4 million in cap space, enough for James and George on the max contracts. James would make more on his max compared to Paul George. It's kind of how it goes with their respective maxes that they have. George would be owed $30.3, LeBron $35.4. So you got Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Paul George, LeBron James, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart as well. That is a juicy, title-contending lineup. Maybe not immediately. Maybe it'll take some time at the beginning of the season. But watch out for the L.A. Lakers and LeBron James. And also, you got to talk about L.A. in of itself, the business connections that LeBron James has, the 2 houses that he has out there as well. It makes so much sense. LeBron needs to look to the afterlife, to his entertainment sphere of his life, right? Where probably he will be more in entertainment once he retires. Being in LA makes a lot of sense to me. So will LeBron James join the Lakers? Be sure to let me know in the comments section. I know a lot of you guys are chiming in about the Lakers. Be sure to let me know what you think.